All right. So do you want to introduce yourself and tell, like, my audience and listeners who you are and what you do?
All right, so I am Bianca Toops. You pronounce it Toops. So, no, not to correct you, but everyone was joking like, "Oh, it's Toops." Like, no, 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 it's Toops. But
Sorry.
no, it's fine. I think everyone will pronounce it wrong because it's yeah, in Dutch we pronounce this differently. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I am from the Netherlands, and I am now 36 years old. And I wrote this one. Well, this
Yeah.
is in Dutch. You have the
We have
English
an English
one.
version. Where do I put
Yeah.
it? I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere.
Yeah, I don't have one here. But yeah, so I wrote that 2 years ago. I think it came
Oh yeah.
out in
Wow.
April. Yeah, well, I wrote it and then we had to go through the whole process of like
Oh yeah.
all the finishing touches, design, etc. So it came out in 2019 in April,
Wow.
during Autism Week Month Day.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, congratulations on the release, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, it feels like it's already like a long time ago, but
Yeah, I
but
bet.
it's
Yeah.
I translated it in English. That came out this August, September.
Ah,
So
that's how
that's
I.
just
Yeah.
recently. Yeah. So and yeah, I'm autistic. I got the diagnosis when I was 24, 25 years old.
Sure.
Before that, I did struggle with like a lot of things, but they never actually thought I was autistic. They
Hmm.
knew I had like an eating disorder and like other like depression kind of symptoms, but they never thought it was autism. So then a friend of mine sent me an article, and she said like you should read this. And so yeah, I was like, well, this must be it. So I went to the doctor, and then they sent me through somewhere where they did all these tests and talked to my parents and etc. So and then I got my diagnosis.
Wow. Well, I got a similar story because I didn't get diagnosed until I was 23 years old. No, wait, how old was I? 26. I was 26 years old.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So it was kind of like, up until that point, it's very difficult, isn't it? Living your life and kind of thinking that you're odd or thinking that you're different or you're broken or, it's a very interesting
yeah.
experience, really getting diagnosed later on because you kind of go your whole life thinking that you're just an outcast when in actual fact, it's more of a condition than you just being weird,
Yeah, I was always weird. Like from when I was like 4 years old, I knew I was weird. I mean, they did put me in a different school because I wasn't like they couldn't keep me at the first school because I was just I don't know, I was just getting very angry
Mm,
because it didn't make sense to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So they put me on a Montessori type school, and
Oh,
that worked
wow.
very well for me.
Mm,
But then they did put me on a like normal high school again, so there things start going wrong again.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I always felt like, like people would always tell me like, oh, you're talented, you're smart, and then I would always like screw up. From
Mm.
like I felt like I was always, then I got some great opportunity, like a great job, and I could never keep it, or I always would quit after like 6 months, or so I was like, I knew like, oh yeah, I'm not even going when I had something new, I was like, when am I going to screw this up again?
No, I know I share similar feelings. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, there was no yeah, I was in a mainstream school the whole time, but I had support like one-to-ones and extra curriculum kind of stuff. And it was really, yeah, it was really difficult, especially undiagnosed because they're just floating around in the dark thinking like, what on earth's going on with this kid? But it
Yeah.
is what it is. But look, I had the book, which is called, what is the title of the book? Because I don't have it in front of me anymore, but I did do a
It's
video on it.
but you don't look autistic at all.
So it rang true to me because the title is just amazing because everybody says that all the time, don't they? Like, oh, if you say to someone you've got an autism spectrum disorder, they're always like, oh, you don't look autistic. It's like, "Oh, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? It's so weird, isn't it? It's such a rude
How am
thing
I
to say.
supposed to look then?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah, tell me,
and actually, I
please.
mean, sometimes I feel like I do look totally autistic. I mean, I have this kind of Disney obsession, but it's
I
like not
I
all
noticed the
Disney.
Disney
It's
jumper.
yeah. Like my Japanese teacher, we do Zoom lessons
Yeah.
now, and every week, and then after a few weeks, she told me like, "You're always wearing this, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes,
That's like
not always, but almost."
almost always, yeah. So, oh, you do
Yeah,
yeah, I heard that you like doing Japanese something
mm,
you've put on. So,
yeah.
where is it? Ohio gozaimasu? Is that correct?
Ohayou
Ohio
gozaimasu.
gozaimasu.
Hi,
Um,
yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
yeah.
Nice to
Domo
meet
arigato.
you. どうもありがとう.
Domo
Thank you.
arigato.
Yeah. Oh, you know some.
Tamago.
Egg.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
beside keki.
What for cake? What kind of cake?
Beside keki.
What's it? No.
Beside keki. Birthday cake.
Oh, birthday cake.
No, birthday keki.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Carpetto.
Come, Compeki. Oh,
Carpetto.
Compeki is perfect.
What's carpet? Carpeto? Carpetto?
Huh? Which? What?
Carpetto? I don't know. I'm
What's
learning
that?
Japanese, but very badly, obviously, as you can tell.
Oh, but maybe I just don't know. I mean, I'm learning.
I am so bad at it. Like my dad is a martial arts specialist, so he has like 7 black
Oh,
belts in
cool.
karate, and he made his
Mm.
own version called Yamashima, which is a type of street fighting, boxing, and karate fused together. So he's a
Oh,
7th dan black belt in karate, and so he's a sensei, obviously. But yeah, so I grew up in like this Japanese type of environment, and like so yeah, I drink green
yeah.
tea and I do tai chi and stuff. But yeah, it's cool. Like yeah, it's a
Cool.
good. So anyway, right. So you don't look autistic. I wanted to have this chat and have this interview because I think it's really cool to see females on the spectrum talking about what they experience and stuff. But the second thing is like having an author talk about their experiences in a book and having a book out and just doing really well as far as I can tell, which is great. And congratulations on that. And I think
Thank
everybody
you.
also should definitely get this book. It's amazingly funny as well. And I think that like in terms of this talk, I'd love for you to just explain a little bit about what the book's about and why it came to be.
Mm. Well, yeah, how it came to be is funny because I was actually asked because I always had in the back of my mind like I want to do a book one day, but I didn't want to. I'm very bad at like promoting myself in the regular way, so I'm
Yeah.
not very good at like calling or mailing like a publisher. I would come
Yeah.
across like too
But
eager or not eager. I don't like it's I don't know.
yeah.
So, but I did have a blog and I wrote blog posts sometimes. Like since I knew I had autism, I kept it a secret for like a few years because
All
I was
right.
afraid that because I did a lot of photography work, I was a bit scared that people would not trust me or something. Like think that I would just I don't know bail on jobs and just go away or something. I don't know. I was just afraid that they would think that. But then after a period of time, I was like, okay, screw it. I'm just going to be open about this. So I
Yeah.
wrote a lot of blogs about it. So then like one of my best friends wrote a book. I mean, she's like a legit writer.
Oh yeah.
And then her publisher came to me like, oh, do you want to write something? But actually, that's not the publisher I'm with now
Oh right.
because
Okay.
like what you said is like there's a lot of humor and jokes and sarcasm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
the publisher was like, I don't understand. I don't think you should write like this.
It's a bit weird.
So and then, so I was like, well, then I'm not going to write it. So
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
then this is
Best way
just
to
not
be.
gonna work. Yeah, so then my friend was like, oh, but that's a waste of like you I already wrote like like a third of it. So she
Yeah.
was like, no, but you should just send it around to people. I was like, oh, I hate that. And she's like, no, do it. You just send the part you have already.
Yeah.
So I did, and like I sent it to 3. I was like, okay, I'm going to send it to 3 publishers, and if they don't want it, bye bye. And the first, like the 2, that they like you get this automatic reply, like, thank you for submitting your blah, blah, blah. We will get back to you in 2 weeks if we want. And then the third one was like they replied, I think one day after, like like one day after I sent it, like, oh my god, this book, I love it. And I yeah, so I was really
That's amazing.
yeah. So and then I just it's like the book is like part is just explanation, like what is it, what theories are there, what did they think in the past, what do
Yeah,
they
because
think
it's quite
now.
academic in its approach of like what the theory of autism basically, right?
Yeah, well, you have to explain it to people who don't know, and
Never heard of
because
it.
there's still a lot of people that think we're like some kind of feelingless sociopath kind of,
A robot
like
savant or something.
robots that are
Yeah.
like can do super quick calculations.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we have to explain, and what it is and what it isn't.
Yeah.
So that's what, and then I mixed it with my story.
Oh. Bianca, you still there? Oh no. Have I lost you, Bianca? Are you still here?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
you're still here.
okay,
Yeah.
you're back.
Okay.
What was the last thing? Shall I start over?
Yeah. Sorry. No, you just said that, and then you mixed it with your,
My life story, yeah.
yeah.
So
And
I mixed the science with my personal story and with some little stories of my friends, because like they have different experiences. And then there's in the end there's like the 8 things we don't want to hear anymore. So it's just debunking a bit of like silly ideas or things that people say, like, oh, but everyone's a bit autistic, right?
oh my goodness.
Or well, you don't look autistic at all, or everyone has a label nowadays.
Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it, when people say that? Like it's just another label.
Yeah.
I did a video on this earlier. Like people, it's just so annoying. People like debunking myths about autism. People think that you can grow out of it as well, something that only children have, which is very just
Yeah.
utter nonsense. But so like in terms of the feedback and reception from the book, how have you felt? Like, do you feel like you're getting good reception? Do you feel like people are saying like, "Oh yeah, it's cool, it's an eye opener," or do you feel like people are saying, "Oh, this doesn't make sense, I don't understand"?
Oh, well, it's funny because like basically I think if I see my ratings, it's like it has like a out of 5 stars, it has 4.8 on the biggest Dutch book selling website,
Holy smokes!
bol.com, bol.com. So that's nice. And I get a lot of nice, lovely, cute emails from people that like mail me like, oh, thank you so much, and I really, I just got my diagnosis, and your book helped me, and then it's super heartwarming.
Yeah.
And then there's like 3 people, like literally 3, not that like totally hate me, think
Oh
I'm
no!
like this know-it-all piece of crap that thinks she's super smart and arrogant.
No
And
way!
yeah, so that's funny actually. I just like I have like the website I built with the book,
Yeah.
and there's like on the front page there's like 6 little blurbs, and I put the one there that's like, this is the ramblings of a know-it-all. It's like, I'm gonna put that on my site because I know like it doesn't really hurt me because
Yeah.
I expected more people to think this, because when I was younger, they would always call me this, like know-it-all.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
as an autistic, if somebody says something wrong, I am going to
Well,
your
that is,
dog.
yeah, yes, my dog Randall is a
Uh,
pain in the bum. Sorry, Randy, come here. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because yeah, people think I'm arrogant as well and a bit of a know-it-all, which is really annoying. But it is what it is at the end of the day, and you're going to get hate because you're doing something in the public sphere. In terms of book publishing, though, I actually have a book published in 3 languages, which is kind of cool.
mhm.
I got a book out.
Cool.
And it's all about Star Wars. It's kind of, I know it sounds stupid. It's kind of about Star Wars, but it's about the theology philosophy of Star Wars, which is basically the study
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
religion. And then
Mm,
I mixed that in with my own life experiences of growing up on the autism spectrum, but not being diagnosed until later on. So it was kind of cool. But
yeah.
what I found is that with this book, I went through a publisher for this book, but in terms of my next book, which I'm in the middle of writing right now, which is more about autism, I'm not going to go
Mm,
through a publisher. I don't know if you've had a good experience with a publisher, but I just want to get your take on that because I feel like publishers take a lot of money for all of your
they
work.
do. But they do like I can really compare, because the Dutch book is through publisher, the English one is crowdfunded. So
Okay.
I crowdfunded the translation, and I published it myself, and there was
What?
like 2-3 months of stress,
Yeah, I bet. I bet. I
because
bet.
yeah, like you have Amazon, Kindle, KDP, you have Ingram Spark. In the Netherlands, you have CB. It's like
Yeah.
they're the print companies.
Yeah, I've heard of
Wow,
them.
they all the 3 look different. And then
Oh.
I don't even know, like, this is the UK printed ones and the Poland printed ones and the Dutch ones, and I have no idea what the Australian one is looking like, because
Oh
I
my
cannot
goodness.
check.
There's
So
no way of
it was
checking it.
driving me nuts. Like, I had like 6 versions before I had the right one, and it's not that I was sending them the wrong files. I mean, I did I did this one too, and it was like fine in one go. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like I but it's just and and it's, yeah. I mean, the English one is going well, but the Dutch one, sold so well, and that's because they had all the contacts with the big
Yeah,
newspapers
yeah,
and
yeah.
TV, and so yeah, that's difficult to do on your own. So I do it's a little bit of maybe it's an announcement, but I have in April there is
Yeah.
a children's book coming out,
By
and
you?
yeah, it's basically the my book, and it's like adapted and
Wow.
illustrated and for kids.
Oh, dude, that's so
So
dope. You can have to send me like a
yeah,
copy so I can show my audience as
I
well
will, I
when it
will.
comes out.
And the drawings are so adorable, and I mean they're not all finished yet, but what I've seen, it's amazing. And that will go through the same publisher because I mean they did so much for, and I'm pretty sure that it will be a success. I
Dude,
mean,
that's
I hope,
amazing.
but but they have like I know like they asked all the big buyers and bookstores and
Yeah.
their reaction, and so and then that's the annoying thing is that like the booksellers they come like yeah, but the cover is pink, and we actually we don't like that, we want yellow, and so then they come back to me like, the booksellers said they wanted yellow, and then you have to like fight for your book.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So
so
but
weird.
I've yeah, in the end we have like a nice solution for that. I'm not going to spoil that yet, but
Okay, good.
like everyone gets their way, it's fine, it's going to be gorgeous, amazing, and I cannot
Dude,
wait, it's
I'm
so
excited. I'm
awesome.
excited I'm excited about it. I love the fact that people make books for people who are younger on the spectrum. I love that. And yeah, no, it's amazing. So hey, look, so if my audience want to find you on the internet, where is the best place that they can find and reach out to you?
Well, I think on every every platform it's just Bianca Toops.
Cool. And that's like, do you
You
want to spell
write
it just
you
in case?
write that like like
Like
like
this.
that. Yeah. Yes.
Toepes. It's tubes.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, oh, that doesn't work in English if I say that.
Well,
It's like, well, I always say it's like oops with a T, but but then that doesn't work in English. But yeah, it's Bianca Toops. I'm on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook?
yeah, and Facebook. Yeah, I'm on there, but
You don't do
I
much.
don't want to.
Well,
I don't want
I'll
to
make
be
sure I
on
get. I
there.
think I've got you on Instagram and
Mm.
I don't know if I got you on Twitter. I'm gonna get you on Twitter, but I follow everybody. I love it. Social media is my game,
Yeah.
yo.
I just like last week I put the store on my Instagram
Oh, it's
because
cool.
that's new. No, it's not new. They had it for a while, but I didn't do it like for a while. So I was like, I have to see how this store thing works. So now
I
I
still
have this
can't set it up on mine.
store. You have to like have a business account and
Yeah,
something.
I've got a Facebook store, and it said something about opening it
Uh-huh.
through that, right? And so I did that, and I
Yeah.
added the pieces in, and it's like there's something weird going on. I have no idea. It doesn't matter.
Well, they
But
didn't at mine. They didn't appear before I switched everything off and on again. So
oh, okay, maybe I have
like
to do
every
that.
product, like remove
Oh,
ad, and I don't know.
right. I
Seems
get
like
you.
they're just still testing this stuff out
Yeah, I
as
think
well.
they
But
are. They're moving more towards this as a sales point because I think like Instagram are going to use that as their way to put advertisements in. So
but
shops like
you can send people just to your own website through that store, so it's fine.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Bianca, thanks so much for having this chat with
Yeah.
me. It's been really interesting, and I'm fascinated. I'm very excited about the children's book. We'll do another chat when the book comes out, maybe the children's version.
Oh yeah,
So
cool.
that'll be really cool, and then we can
Yeah,
yeah,
and
get my
I will make
audience.
sure you get one for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. Cool. And well,
And if I forget, please remind me.
sure. No, I will definitely. So I will hit you up on
Yeah.
Instagram, and then yeah, okay, cool. So thanks for coming on to this show, and it's
Yes,
actually the
thank
first
you
one of my
so much for
Saturday
having
morning
me.
interviews. So yeah, thank you so much for that.